Hey guys, so I am back, and today we're going to be discussing bimbo ass, wannabe black ass, Amber Rose face ass. Okay, okay. Yeah, like I recently seen a post. I think it was on Hollywood Unlocked. So shout out to Jason Lee. I seen a post of like I think it was Amber Rose and Nick Cannon driving in a car doing some type of content. I don't know exactly what because it was just like a scroll by, And Amber Rose was basically stating how she thinks that white people need to call black people the N-word with the hard R to like stop violence and shit, to stop black people from whooping their ass. And I'm just like, hold on, because before we even get started, I gotta drink some fucking water. Yes, I just got out of a nice, beautiful bath. So I want to just do a deep dive into Amber Rose because I want to know where is this hatred stemming from, right? I want to know who really is she, or does she claim to be? Don't mind the background noise. We got dogs barking, we got kids outside screaming. Focus on me. Thank you. So Amber Rose had a very hard upbringing, right? She comes from major hardships, as do a lot of people, right? But that is no excuse to grow up and be a bimbo ass, wannabe black ass, Amber Rose face ass bitch, right? So we about to get her ass together. And I tried to, I really did, I thought about this. I was like, you know what? This is a spiritual channel, but just because you are spiritual does not mean that you won't check a bitch, right? So Amber Rose is about to get checked. But we're gonna learn a few things about her. We're gonna get her in check. Just follow me. So Amber Rose, for those of you who do not know, I got my notes here today as well because I had to jot this shit down. So Amber Rose is actually white, Italian, and of African descent. I don't know how to exactly say it, Carpavadian or something, like whatever. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, Carpavadian or no disrespect. I really don't know how to say it. I don't know too much about you guys and stuff like that, so that's why I just put African descent. But for those of you who know, then you know. So that is her background as far as ethnically and her nationality and things like that. Well, I guess her nationality would be American. But yeah, that's her ethnic background. Also, did you all know that Amber Rose comes from Philadelphia? So I believe that is the East Coast, right? Shout out to my East Coasters. Woo, woo. And she comes from poverty, right? So her family struggled a lot as far as their financial abundance. And it was mostly stemmed from family drug addictions. I believe both of her parents was like drug addicts, which caused Amber Rose to grow up very fast. At the age of 15, Amber Rose became an exotic dancer. Can you all believe that? Can you all believe at that young age, she had to decide, she had to make grown ass adult moves and decisions over her life and for her household, for the sake of their livelihood. She had to decide, well shit, my family's addicted to drugs, we broke, and something got to be done about this. I don't know much about, she have any siblings or anything like that. It doesn't really talk about that when I did research her. But anyways, so at the age of 15, she had to decide to go become an exotic dancer. Okay, so that right there tells me that Amber Rose, and especially if she has never gone to therapy, she suffers from identity issues. She suffers from self-love issues. Like she lacks self-love. She has major lack, right? Not to shun all the dancers in the world. I think y'all are beautiful. I think y'all stand for women empowerment and y'all becoming independent and y'all out there making y'all coin. Shout out to y'all, right? But we only talk about Amber Rose, right? So don't listen. If the shoe fits, right? But I didn't send for you. So yeah, so I just couldn't imagine that, right? Especially me being a mother, right? My child being 15 and going out there and becoming an exotic. Absolutely not, right? Absolutely the fuck not. She could have went and worked at McDonald's. Why out of all places you needed to go do that? You know what I'm saying? So that right there is a major red flag. And you know what? Because of that decision that she made for her family, for her family's livelihood, I can tell that she is very self-sacrificing. So what is self-sacrificing, you guys? Self-sacrificing is when you would literally, it is literally self-exclamatory. You would literally sacrifice yourself for the sake of others, right? And that brings me to my next point. My next point is, did you all know that Amber Rose is a Libra? Yes, she's a Libra. But the difference between her and let's say a person like me is that at this point in my life, I am a healthy Libra, right? I have grown, I am evolving, I am making better decisions over my life, and I'm just overall becoming a better person, right? So I am no longer underneath the unhealthy category when it comes to, unhealthy Libras, right? But she is, right? To be out here, just we gonna bounce around a little bit, right? So, to be out here trying to ignite a motherfucking race war. Why would you get on a platform and ever say, yeah, well, I think that white people need to, use the N-word towards black people with the hard R to stop violence and to stop, to stand up for this. Right? Like, what are you talking about? What the fuck is she actually talking about? And no, you know where this stems from? This stems from the fact that she is white and Italian, right? And her father is of African descent, right? And I don't even think she has a good relationship with her father, right? He was on drugs, her and him and the mother. And, that caused her to obviously make decisions that she made in her life. But at the same time, it's like, bitch, you want to be black. You currently, at this point in your life, work in a majority black industry, sleeping with black men, creating black children, and you out here telling your white fucking ancestors and people to use the hard N-word towards black people. Now, Amber Rose, does that make any fucking sense? That don't make no fucking sense. And then I know her ignorant ass, she'll be like, oh, well, my kids are not fully black. They're black and white, and they're black in this, and they're black, and that's still black, bitch. Black the fuck is black. To society, when your kids grow the fuck up and they operate in this life, bitch, black is black. They not, do you think the popo is gonna fucking get down to the DNA of it all. Oh, well, this person is black and Italian. This one is black and Puerto Rican. Oh, this one is black and white. No, bitch, black is black, okay? And you out here spreading a fucking, trying to start a fucking race war. I will smack the fuck out of you, Amber Rose. If we're ever in the same fucking room, you better hope that God continues to change me, because I will smack the fuck out of you. You know how much shit is going on already in this fucking life and in this world, and then we got bitches like you out here trying to cause more fucking problems? I digress. Let's continue. So even though Amber Rose would be considered a very ambitious person, right? It's still sad because at the ripe age of 15, she had no business to be in a booty-shaking club in front of, I would believe, is majority black men who was funding her motherfucking family's bills and funding her nails and funding her hair and funding her fucking Chinese and McDonald's and shit. She's 15. What does a 15-year-old want? McDonald's, Chinese, tacos, nails and hair done, lashes, right? Their cute little outfits, right? So I'm sure it was the black men that was funding your lifestyle at that time, Amber Rose. So for you to, again, it's like she's out here trying to start this race war, but everything points back to like the blackness that she wished was in her, but it's not. Because to break this down even more, your father's African, right? And no shade to the Africans, because I've dated Africans. I actually love African food and African people. I get my hair done by Africans, and I also grew up with an African best friend. This is no shade to you all, but listen, when all bets are off, all bets are off. We know, black Americans, we know that y'all be at home and y'all be talking shit about us. We know, oh, don't be like them black Americans. Don't be like them black people. They're lazy. They don't work. Da-da-da-da. They were slaves. We're not like that. Hello? And, and we know that y'all be talking shit in y'all language as well. Like, we're not stupid, right? So when all bets is off, all bets is the fuck off. So to break this down even more, Amber Rose's father is not even a black American. He's African. He's of African descent. So for her to have this like disdain for black people, it just highly upsets me, because black people was the one throwing them dollars at you, bitch, at the club for all them years that you were dancing. Black men are the ones that gave you the opportunities in your life to level up and evolve and to get to where you are today in Hollywood. Kanye, yeah, you may hate his guts now, but that nigga put you on. He dated your ass. You was his muse for many of years. All he needed you to do was shut the fuck up and look the fuck good, bitch. And I think, by you speaking how you speaking today, I kind of agree with Kanye. I think you should have been one of the bitches that just look good and keep that mouth the fuck shut. Because the shit that's flying out your mouth, it don't even make sense. It makes no sense. I can understand if you was a bitch that actually knew how to talk shit and you knew how to clock tea, but the shit that you say, it doesn't make sense. If black men were the ones that were throwing them dollars at you, bitch, and black men were the one that gave you the opportunities to level the fuck up to become where the fuck you are today, then why the fuck are you on a platform telling white people, your fucking white fucking DNA people, bitch, oh yeah, you need to start using the hard N-word, the hard N-word with the hard R to stop violence and shit. What? It makes no sense. Psychologically, you are off. And I'm gonna bring you up. Let's go to the next point. So not only does Amber Rose have all these issues, she has identity issues. She grew up in a poverty-stricken area. Her family comes from a lot of drug addictions. She danced very young in her life due to those issues in her family. But did you all know that Amber Rose is actually an atheist? She does not believe in God. And you know what? I think that's kind of strange too, because, bitch, how the fuck you think you got as far as you have gotten today? You think that was all you? You think that was you that got your ass out the fucking club as a teenager? Do you think that was you that landed them beautiful opportunities in your life to level yourself up in your life? Like, where the fuck you think the miracles came from, bitch? You're lost. Amber Rose is lost. She has no faith, no insight, and she lacks integrity. So the core of Amber Rose is basically empty. When a human being does not have any core values for real, and especially they lack faith, insight, and integrity, all things that a soul living a human experience needs in this life, you're lost. Which is why she's out here speaking these heinous things into the atmosphere, trying to start a war, and not just any war, but a race war. When we have already gotten so far away from those times, i.e. Martin Luther King Jr., i.e. Malcolm X, and now we have bitches like you, trying to bring these shits up to a fucking boil again. The earth does not need that. The earth is steadily evolving. We are in 2026. People are awakening. People are leveling up. People are growing. People are bleeding with love these days. And we have you lost in the motherfucking sauce, bitch, like a lost puppy. Let's continue. So once Amber Rose left the club, let's fast forward to about her mid-20s. So her mid-20s, she started starring in music videos. I didn't write down which one was the first one, but she started her first music video. People started to have a liking for her because at this point, she has somewhat got her identity down packed. She claimed herself to be the Amber Rose, bald-headed bitch, nice body, pretty in the face, and just like beautiful, sexy. She was leading with her beauty at this point in her life, and that was the image that she was leading with. So she did eventually meet Kanye West. You know who that is, no need to explain. And he just wanted her to be his muse. He thought that she was so beautiful that he told her, baby, don't even talk. I just want you to be my trophy. I just want you to be my arm candy, I'm just gonna take you everywhere. Where did I go? You know, and she listened to him. She listened, you know, because at this, she didn't really know who the fuck she was at this point. She's just trying to level up, so she did listen to him, and it did work in her advantage. They ended up breaking up years later. They never got married. They never had no children. Fast forward to the second celebrity man that she would end up dating. Like I said, these are obviously, you can tell that these are black men, right? Which is crazy that she's out here speaking the way she is speaking. Anyways, I digress. She went on to meet the rapper Wiz Khalifa. They actually ended up getting married. The marriage lasted a little over a year. They had a son, which was her first child, his first child, and shortly after that they broke up. Still to this day they are cool. She is not cool with Kanye. She does not like him very much, but she is very cool and like BFFs with Wiz Khalifa. She has 2 sons. Now, I want you guys to also keep in mind that Amber Rose is in her 40s. She's 42 years old. That is too goddamn old to be out here spreading hatred into God's green earth like that. Like, I'm gonna keep calm, because if I ever see this bitch, she gonna know how the fuck I feel about her, because I just don't agree with that. You know, I'm mixed, right? I am black and Puerto Rican, and the way that I look to society, I look as if I'm black, right? A lot of people don't even know that I'm black and Puerto Rican, but I am. So, you know, when I'm out operating in this world, and I'm also embracing and walking with my ancestors every day, you know, those that could not make it this far, you know, in their journey for whatever reason, those who, you know, I never got to meet, you know, these are my ancestors, and I am very passionate about my ancestors and my family members and relatives that has walked before me on this earth, because if it wasn't for them walking and paving the motherfucking way, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, etc., 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 etc. You see what I'm saying? So I'm very passionate about that shit. And for this bitch to be out here telling white people to do this, blah, 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 that's fucked up. That's fucked up. The world already has so much hate. It does not need any more hate in it. And you just lack key values and morals, and you have no faith, you have no insight. I'm sure your intuition is blocked, bitch. You're fucked up. You're fucked. So let's continue on. So, you know, and I want to touch on this too about her father, right? So the fact that she has this like disdain for black people when her father is African and he or the father's ancestors has not lived the black American struggles, i.e. slavery, suppression, overall abuse by the American government, you know? So it's like, where's the hate coming from? You're not black, bitch. We know you want to be. We know that you've always dreamed of being black. You've had these surgeries. You got these Botox. You trying to, you know, and yeah, you come from Philly. Shout out to Philly, you know. Shout out to Meek Mill. I like Meek Mill. You know, you come from Philly and shit like that, but it's just like, where's the respect? Where's the respect for the black people? Like, you're operating in black culture. You're fucking committing cultural appropriate. How do you fuck you say it? Appropriation. And but then you're talking like this. Like, it makes no sense. It's like, it's a catch-22 with her, you know? It's like on one, she's unhealthy. She's an unhealthy Libra. It's like, unhealthy Libras, they like talk one way but move another way. They like think this way but act this way. You know what I mean? They haven't really like, they can't pick a side. You know what I mean? Like, they're lost, you know? So although she has an African father, right? She has procreated with black American men. She has black children, and she operates within a mostly black career field, i.e. Hollywood. She's still, hold on, my fucking foot is asleep. How my foot just fall asleep like that? But it's like, but then you're out here talking about, yeah, white people, you need to start using the N-word towards black people with the hard R to stop the violence. Bitch, P-U, bitch, you stink. So, and then she did go on to date the producer A.E. I'm not sure of what his nationality. I'm not sure, well, he is American, but I'm not sure what his ethnicity is, because there is nothing, I didn't find anything online about him as far as that goes. But, and I'm gonna tell you why Amber Rose is also mad, right? She's not only mad because all these things, sorry, I'm like hitting the table. She's not only mad because of all these things we already talked about, right? The identity issues and, you know, having to become an exotic dancer at the age of 15 and, you know, growing up in poverty-stricken areas and her family being drug addicts and, you know, the identity issues and just, you know, trying to be black, bitch, when she's not black, right? And you know, so she's so lost that she, as a mature woman, decided to become an atheist. That should show you a lot of where the fuck her soul is at. Like, she needs a spirit, she needs an exorcism, an exorcist. She needs an exorcism, she needs the Lord, she needs therapy, and she needs to start a fucking spiritual journey ASAP. But we can continue. So she met this guy, A.E., he's a producer out there in Hollywood. I don't know his ethnicity, but he is American. They dated for a few years. They actually got pregnant, had a son, which is Amber's second son. And it's crazy because after they broke up, A.E. made like a total power move on Amber Rose. He went on to date the Cher. Yes, the Cher. Y'all know Cher. Cher is 79 years old. Woo! Wow. That is a wowzers. Because, bitch, if my man ever leave me at the ripe age of 40 and get with an 80-year-old bitch, oh, I'm immediately checking my motherfucking self into therapy. Because the fuck is really good? Like, what's really good, you know? All in all, I think Amber Rose is lost. I think she needs to seek therapy ASAP to find out truly who she is. I think she needs God for sure. Like, she needs to remember how far he's brought her and where the fuck she comes from. I think she's gotten so far into the Hollywood streets that she has forgotten where she comes from. She has forgotten all the miracles the Lord has worked in her life. She has forgotten all the work that he has done internally within her. I think she continued to go on, and this happens a lot with people, right? Psychologically, when people lack faith, they go on their journey, and you know, what happens is, because they continue to go through these hardships and they continue to go through these situations in their life, at some points they would like just be like, well, fuck God. God ain't real. Da-da-da-da-da. And that's fucked up. God created you from your fucking father's sperm and your mother's egg, bitch, and shaped you in your mother's womb hole and brought you to this motherfucking world. And do you think he would ever bring you to this world to become an atheist? I think the fuck not. You have serious problems and I think you need help. So we're gonna end it here, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the background. I tried to switch it up a little bit. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.